And happy Friday. Shabbat Shalom. Juma Mubarak. TGIF. My friends, patriots, lovers of democracy, truth, and justice, believers in peace, freedom, and the American way. Thom Hartmann here with you. Our first hour on Friday, as always, our national town hall meeting with Senator Bernie Sanders. Senator Sanders, greetings.
How are you, Tom? Good to be with you.
I am fine. Thanks for joining us. You just came back from a vote in the Senate.
I did, and I am at the airport, and I apologize for the cell phone, but that's the best I think we could do this afternoon.
Yeah, well, it sounds pretty good, so it's better on a cell phone than nothing. And thank you for being with us. Your thoughts on this week? A lot has happened.
Well, it has been an interesting week, to say the least. I think, as everybody knows, the Supreme Court, by a 5-4 vote, with Chief Justice Roberts going with the majority, approved and indicated that the Affordable Care Act that we passed is, in fact, constitutional. And while I voted for the health care reform bill, to my mind, it is a step forward, but we have to do better. What this bill does and what the Supreme Court affirmed is that we can go forward in making sure that insurance companies cannot deny health care to people who have pre-existing conditions. If you are a family that has health insurance and you have kids under 26, they will still be able to retain their coverage. If you end up with a serious illness like cancer and heart disease, you're running up a big bill, there is a maximum. They cannot remove your coverage because your needs are terribly great. If you are a woman, you cannot be discriminated against, and women are in terms of the cost of health care. And if you are in need of disease prevention, preventative health care, you're going to be able to get this under this act. So and if you are one of 30 million Americans who today has no health insurance, in the coming years, you will be eligible for Medicaid, which is a significant step forward in providing health insurance to those who do not have it. Our Republican friends are arguing that this mandate, the individual mandate, is going to be a tax on millions of people. The truth is that if you have insurance today, or if you're on Medicaid, or if you're on Medicare, you're not going to pay a nickel in that penalty. What this is about, and it's something, of course, that goes on in Massachusetts, where Governor Romney, when he was governor there, passed this. It says the following, Tom. It says that if you are, say, 35 and you're jogging along and you think you're invincible and you're never going to get sick, and you have no health insurance, you say, I don't need any health insurance, I'm pretty healthy, and you're jogging along on some road and you get hit by a truck and you run up a $100,000 bill. Today, it is people who have insurance who are cost-shifted who end up paying for your hospitalization. And that costs people over $1,000 each all over America. So if you have health insurance and somebody runs up a huge health care bill in the hospital, you are paying for that. So what this says, if you can afford it, if you can't afford it, you don't have to do it. But if you can afford it, which is the case in Massachusetts right now, you have to get at least some kind of health insurance. Other people don't have to pick up the burden for you. And if you are lower income and you can't afford it, well, you don't have to do that. You will be getting a subsidy to get your insurance. Now, I myself believe, and have believed from day one, that there is something wrong in this country when the United States is the only nation on earth that does not guarantee health care for all people as a right. This bill takes us a step forward, in my view, to take us to the finish line, to do what we should be doing, to provide quality care to every man, woman, and child as a right. We need to pass a Medicare for all single-payer program. We need to get private health insurance companies whose only goal in life is to make as much money as possible out of the picture. We have to negotiate with the drug companies to end the absurdity of us paying the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. But having said that, we're not there yet, and I hope my small state of Vermont will lead the nation in that direction. But having said that, is this healthcare reform bill a step forward? It will be for many, many millions of people, by the way, including seniors. who will see a closing to some degree of their donut hole, which means they will be paying less in prescription drugs. So this is a step forward. I'm glad the Supreme Court agreed with its constitutionality, but we have got to continue the effort to provide health care to all people in a more cost-effective way than we are currently doing.
Mitt Romney raised $3 million yesterday after this came out. He sent out an email. I'm apparently on his list. And dear friend Tom, and is suggesting that this is a $1.7 trillion tax hike, and it's going to be a $500 billion cut in Medicare. You want to take a whack at those numbers?
They just pull this stuff right out of their ear. In other words, they're frightening, everybody. The truth of the matter is that, as I just mentioned, the so-called individual mandate will apply to some 5% of the people. And frankly, if you can afford to have health insurance, and it's wrong to say that other people have got to pick up your health care costs if you end up with a serious disease. It's, that is what freeloading is about. Many of my Republican friends, they want individual responsibility. Well, what individual responsibility is about is if you have the money and you get sick, other people, or you have an accident, you have a heart attack, other people should not have to be paying more for their health insurance through cost shifting to pick up your needs. You should have to contribute. And that's what that provision is about. But again, having said that, I think the most cost-effective way to go forward to provide universal health care to all of our people is through a Medicare for All single-payer program. You will save hundreds of billions of dollars in terms of administrative costs. Right now we spend 30% of our health care dollars on administration. That's totally absurd. Money should be spent on health care and not profiteering for insurance companies, high CEO salaries, et cetera, et cetera. So now I should also say, to get off the health care for a moment, I just came from the floor an hour ago where we voted on a not insignificant transportation bill, which will start to rebuild our crumbling roads and bridges and public transportation systems. This bill did not go as far as I would like, again, but it took us months and months and months. We passed the bill a couple of months ago out of the Senate. It had 74 votes. It was, in fact, a bipartisan bill. And we finally got the House to act just today. So that, at a time when our infrastructure, that is our roads, our bridges, public transportation, has so many needs. In my state of Vermont, we have many, many bridges which are in serious shape, really need a whole lot of work. And that's true all over this country. We're going to begin to save about 1.8 million jobs a year by continuing to work on infrastructure and, in fact, create another million more. So this bill is good for, I think, 27 months. It's going to pump a lot of money into our economy, and, in fact, it's probably the most significant job-creating bill that we have passed in quite a while.
Will we see an immediate result from that, do you think?
Pardon me?
Will we see an immediate result from that?
I think you will. I think as a result of this passage, you're going to see billions of dollars going right into the economy, and you're going to see people going to work. So the estimate is that we're going to save about 1.8 million jobs in construction that would have been lost if we didn't pass this, plus another million jobs as a result of this bill. Not an insignificant number.
Marvelous. It is our brunch with our national town hall meeting, Brunch with Bernie. Senator Bernie Sanders on the line with us, taking your calls in our national town hall meeting. Also, check out Senator Sanders' website, sanders.senate.gov. We'll be right back with your calls for Bernie right after this.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Sanders.senate.gov. Also, you can drop by ThomHartmann.com as well and drop into our free live chat room. Participate in our blogs. There's all kinds of cool stuff there, too. And welcome back. Just a quick reminder, this is the last day of the Free Speech TV membership drive. I'm not going to do it during this first hour because Senator Sanders is with us, but I want to remind you that you can call 877-378-8669 And with as little as $10, become a member of Free Speech TV, which is a really important thing to do, particularly right now, as this is a tough summer. So, Bernie, you're still with us, right?
I am right here.
Okay, Jeanette in Chicago. Hey, Jeanette, you're on the air with Senator Sanders.
Hi, it's good to talk to you both. I just wanted to ask a question. I just saw the Attorney General of Texas talking about how all the businesses in Texas are saying that they're going to stop providing health care because it's cheaper to pay the penalty. And I was under the impression that there was something in the law that prohibited businesses of a certain size from eliminating health care. So is that accurate, or?
Health care for, first of all, don't believe everything that you hear. I mean, the first point that has to be made is the status quo is unsustainable. And if you're a small business and you have seen healthcare costs go up by 10, 15, 20% every year, you just cannot continue to do that. So I think all of these people who say they're going to stop providing healthcare and put their employees onto public healthcare, I'm not so sure that they will eventually end up doing that. So that's number one. But the main point that has to be made here is this bill does not go as far as it needs to go. But it is going to provide health care to 30 million more Americans. It's going to provide tax credits and help for small and modest-sized businesses. Do I think there's going to be a lot of politics involved here? Do I think that people are going to try to make the president look bad? Believe me, that is exactly what they will do.
Charles in Fort Collins, Colorado, watching us on Free Speech TV on Dish Network. You're on the air with Senator Sanders.
Good morning, gentlemen. Another derivative off of this whole health care issue that has been kind of neglected is that health care is directly tied to the health of our economy. There's a RAND study that's been tracking that for years, and I'm just wondering if by leveling the field of health care and having everybody pay, if that will be a great economic stimulator and economic multipliers will come in effect and really boost us up. For instance, if you go buy a car, $1,000 of that car, you're paying for health insurance for the workers in Detroit.
Yeah. Bernie?
Right. Absolutely. Look, in my view, the current healthcare system is unsustainable. It is, to a significant degree, dysfunctional, and it is totally irrational. What do I mean by that? Right now, the major function of our healthcare system is not to provide quality healthcare to all people in a cost-effective way. The main function of healthcare is to make as much money as possible for the insurance companies and for the drug companies. That's really where we're at. I think that is patently insane. Right now, you have today 50 million Americans who have no health insurance. Right now, this year, you will have some 45,000 people dying because they don't go to a doctor when they should. Right now, every day, you have people walking into emergency rooms to get their primary health care at 10 times more cost than they would if they could walk into a community health center or a doctor's office. Right now, you have people who are delaying going to the doctor when they should because of outrageously high deductibles.
Hold on just a second.
All the energies of government and business must be directed to increasing the national income, to putting more people into private jobs, to giving security and a feeling of security to all people in all walks of life.
Welcome back to our Brunch with Bernie hour, our national town hall meeting with Senator Bernie Sanders, sanders.senate.gov, his website. Stephen in Columbia, Missouri, you're on the air with Senator Sanders.
Hello, thank you for taking my call. And I just would like to propose that for all these Republicans who are so adamantly opposed to universal health care and Obamacare, why can't they just sign a pledge that if and when they get sick, they agree they will not visit any doctor, dentist, or hospital in regards to addressing their health problems if they don't want to pay the necessary fees to have health insurance for everyone?
Well, Stephen, that is a very interesting concept. And it really touches on where we are as a nation today with regard to healthcare. And remember, Stephen, the key point here is every other major nation on earth, Europe, Scandinavia, Canada, every major economy on earth provides healthcare as a right of all people because they have reached the conclusion as to whether you're poor, middle class, wealthy, healthcare is a basic human need and everybody is entitled to it. We are the only major country on earth that has not reached that decision. So where we are today in terms of healthcare is if you are in the top 1%, you will gain access to the best healthcare probably in the world. You will gain access to breakthrough medicines and brand new technologies that may cost tens and tens of thousands of dollars, but you can afford it. On the other hand, if you are, and I've talked to physicians in Vermont and around the country on this, if you're a working class person today, just for an example, if you're going to walk into your doctor's office, doctor will diagnose your illness, write out a prescription, and some 25, 30, 40% of the people in this country can't even afford to fill that prescription. Meanwhile, you got millions more who can't afford to walk into the doctor's office in the first place. And as I mentioned earlier, you got 45,000 people who die every year because they delay going to the doctor when they should. So we have an irrational system. It does work very well, and I have to admit this, for the top 1%. They have access to great doctors, great hospitals, great technologies, great medicine that they can afford. But if you're in the middle class, if you're in the working class, if you're a lower income, well, you're not doing so well. And that is the great challenge that we face as a nation. How do we provide health care to all people as a right? And to answer Stephen's point, when you do that, when you keep people well, rather than forcing them, rather than denying them the health care that they need, I think you do create a healthier society and a more productive society. And by the way, keeping people healthy is a lot cheaper than treating them when they're very, very ill.
Craig in Orlando, Florida. You're on the air with Senator Sanders.
Yes, hello, Mr. Sanders. My question is this. Next week, Congressman Issa is supposed to push his postal bill. What I'd like to know is why one man who's one of the richest wants to destroy my brother's and sister's career with his privatized postal bill without it letting any other bills from the Senate and from the House through to save us.
Well, Greg, that's a very, very good question. And then this gets back to, I don't want to be hyper-partisan, on this show. But I think most Americans who follow politics understand that what you have right now is a House of Representatives controlled not just by Republicans, but by Republican right-wing extremists. And what you have are folks who, in their heart of hearts, and that's what the Ryan budget was significantly about, want to end Medicare as we know it today, transform Medicare into a voucher program where you give a senior $7,000 or $8,000 and you send them on their way to some private insurance company. They want to make massive cuts in Medicaid. They want to make massive cuts in federal aid to education and in Pell Grants and in the Environmental Protection Agency. So consistent with all of that, Craig, is an attack on the Postal Service. They don't like the Postal Service, and they would like to, at least a number of them, privatize it and let FedEx or UPS pick up the rest, pick up what the Postal Service is now doing. Now, you may know, Craig, about 10 months ago or so, the Postmaster General came up with an extraordinarily radical proposal. And what he proposed is to shut down about 15,000 post offices in America, most of them rural, shut down half of the processing plants in this country, and end Saturday mail delivery service. And when you do that, you go from a workforce in the Postal Service of about 520,000 down to 320,000. Some of us in the Senate responded very, very strongly to that. We passed a bill, didn't go as far as I would want, but what we passed in the Senate was the shutting down of no rural post offices, there will be cuts in hours. We've managed to not see half of the processing plants in America shut down. Some of them will be shut down. And at this moment, Saturday mail delivery service still continues. So there will be a reduction in size in the Postal Service, but nowhere near as severe as what the Postmaster General originally wanted. Now, what the Postmaster General did after a lot of discussion with many of us, more or less adopted what was in the Senate bill, more or less. Now the bill is going to the House, and we will see what happens there. But this is an issue I have been involved in, and I am going to do everything that I can to prevent the Postal Service from being privatized and to see a huge number of decent-paying jobs, union jobs, from being destroyed.
Bernie, you said you didn't want to be hyper-partisan. You remind me of Harry Truman. He said, I don't give them hell, I just tell them the truth, and they think it's hell.
Tom, that's about it. I mean, that really is true.
It really is true. Bernie, Rain, our call screener, just heard from your office who said that you have to leave at 3:30. And so I'm going to put you on hold if that's definitely the case. Thank you for being with us today. And if not, we'll catch you on the other side of the break.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Bernie.